The Selfish Path to Romance. Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com.
And right now I want to welcome Christina to the phones. Christina, you have a custody issue?
Hi. Actually,
Hi.
I'm a grandma, and it's
Okay.
my daughter who's kind of going through the custody issue.
Okay, what's going on with her?
Oh, she has a 3.5-year-old and an 8-month-old.
Okay.
And her ex now is in the Navy, so he's stationed about 45 minutes away from where they don't live together anymore, but he's stationed at the base, but he's getting transferred to Texas, which is, I don't know how far that is from where she lives, from Fresno, but
yeah.
It's quite a bit. So the agreement, he wants her to agree to do every 3 months out of the year, like alternating every 3 months, he keeps the baby that's 8-month-old, because that's biologically his. The other 3.5-year-old isn't.
Yeah.
So he wants to take her to Texas to live there with him, because he's being transferred there from the Navy. And then she keeps her an additional 3 months, and then rotating back and forth through the year. And my concern, excuse me?
Go ahead.
My concern is this going to have some kind of effect mainly on the 3.5-year-old, who not only is she going to feel, I think, she's losing a sister, but a daddy, which is kind of like the only daddy she ever really met.
Yeah, there's no way around it that there's enormous pain for children, and they are ripe for misinterpreting things. And there's a wonderful book, and it probably would be good for a 3.5-year-old if you go very slowly in it. It's called Dinosaurs Divorce. It may be on my website, drkenner.com. No, it isn't, but I will get it up there. And what is so good about this book is it's cartoons. It's about kids going through a divorce with their parents, but it opens up by saying, if your parents are getting divorced, you are not to blame. And that opens up the conversation for the kids, because sometimes kids, especially at the age of 3.5, but at any age, they feel like, oh my gosh, Daddy yelled at me because I didn't make my bed, or I didn't put away my toys, and now Daddy's going away, it must be my fault. I mean, something random happens, they get punished, and then they think that it's their fault. And so one of the biggest things is to realize that she is not at fault, that this is an adult issue, and Daddy's going away. Is he planning to stay in her life, the 3.5?
No.
He isn't.
Not really. No, he's only agreed to take the 8-month-old, because biologically that's his daughter.
Okay.
The 3-year-old is from a previous relationship, but he's been around about 2 years for the last,
Yeah, she definitely needs you need to find out what questions she has or what misinterpretation she has, or her mom can do this. I know you're the grandma. And if you're sitting with her and she says, I miss Daddy, if she calls him Daddy, honey, tell me what's going through your mind, or what are your thoughts? Or tell me, you could even animate little stuffed animals to try, hey, what's going on with you? A little teddy bear. Tell me what's on your mind. And she may say, I miss him. He doesn't love me anymore. Well, that may be the case. But what do you say to a 3.5-year-old? And the teddy bear may say,
hey, I got to interrupt this because we've got to pay some bills. 30 seconds, that's it. A very quick ad, and then Ellen will be back.
Romance. I wish I knew more about what girls want from a relationship. Boy, I wish I knew more about what I want. Where's that ad I saw? Here it is. The Selfish Path to Romance, a serious romance guidebook. Download Chapter 1 for free at selfishromance.com and buy it at amazon.com. The Selfish Path to Romance. That is interesting.
But what do you say to a 3.5-year-old? And the teddy bear may say, that must be sad, or, you're feeling sad. I love you. The teddy can snuggle up with her or something. So there are ways to work with a child so that they feel lovable, and they are where they do need to go through the loss. You can't deny that. You can't fake it. Oh, he'll always love you. He'll always be back. He just had to go far away. I wouldn't engage in lies like that. I don't think that helps anybody, short range or long range. I think it's just that mommy and daddy are not together anymore. And maybe, I don't know if we'll be able to see daddy. It's a very awkward situation. I would definitely tell your daughter, and if you want to too, there's another book, an adult book, called Helping Your Child Through Your Divorce by Florence Bienenfeld. That is up on my website. Thumbs up on that one. That one you'll probably have to order, though. It's not as easy to get. It starts off by showing very dramatic pictures that children have drawn, illustrating what it's like to see their parents going through a divorce.
Yeah.
And it's very a wake-up call, though, to especially the dad in this situation, that he is making decisions that are painful. Are you at liberty to say why they split up? Did he cheat, or they just grew apart?
At first he was saying that they kind of just grew apart, but a month after he left, he gets married to someone else.
Oh, my.
So I'm assuming he cheated.
Oh, my. This is not a good character. I mean, to have that happen a month after, when he's got an 8-month-old baby right now. So I would try to work with the kids so they feel like they're very connected, and that's a bond that can't break. You work with what you've got. He's out of the picture. That may even be better for the 3.5-year-old if he's got not the best character possibly. And I think in terms of the little one going back and forth, I think that's an issue that if you read the book, Helping Your Child Through Your Divorce, they may rethink that, because that's an awful lot of travel back and forth. It means that little one has 2 mommies, his new wife and your daughter. It's very hard on your daughter to lose her child for 3 months. So that's something that should, if they haven't agreed to it yet, if they could read that Florence Bienenfeld book together, both the father, who's in the Navy, I understand, and your daughter, I think that may help. It may help them really not what people typically say, do what's best for the children, but they really mean do what's best for me, but really do what's best for the children, and they'll both feel better about themselves longer range if they do that. So listen, thank you very much for your call.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And here's a little more from Dr. Kenner.
But we don't know if he's having an affair. I mean, he could just be involved with, I don't know, people who get together to invest things, and the place that they invest things is filled with potpourri, and that's why his shirts smell so sweet when he comes home. It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. We could find your husband neck deep in potpourri investing things.
And that is from Shall We Dance? And that's a darling movie. However, affairs are not so darling. But if you are in an affair yourself, and you know what that's like to live a double life, where you have to hold the knowledge of the affair but try to keep it secret from your wife and your children, or your husband and your children, or if you're on the other end, the person who's the hurt party, not the unfaithful party, but the hurt party, and you never suspect that your partner would betray you and find out that he or she has, that is a nightmarish situation, and you definitely want to get some help. I highly recommend the book After the Affair. Even if you're not planning to stay together, that's a fabulous book. Sometimes the best things to do is to part ways, but that involves a lot of thought going into making life-changing decisions like that.
For more Dr. Kenner podcast, go to drkenner.com and please listen to this ad.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance, the Serious Romance Guidebook by clinical psychologist Dr. Ellen Kenner and co-author Dr. Edwin Locke, who's world famous for his theories in goal setting.
A few fortunate individuals have a first impression of a partner that turns out to be accurate. They are a perfect match, but even these individuals should not commit to a permanent attachment on the spot. Attraction at first sight is fine, but nothing can replace the need to gain more knowledge about your potential partner. What people call love at first sight is often the result of infatuation. Infatuation refers to a strong, immediate emotional attraction based on a small number of qualities, sometimes only one, such as looks.
You can download Chapter 1 for free by going to drkenner.com, and you can buy The Selfish Path to Romance at amazon.com.